What's going on, guys? My name is Yellow S2K and welcome to my review of Gravel. I think this is a game that you really want to know what you're getting going into it. I went into this game blind and it took me a little bit to realize what makes this game so good. Not because it lacks good qualities, but because if you go into this game expecting something completely different, I think you're going to be judging it unfairly. So really, hopefully this will give you guys a good idea of what the game is about and really what does make it so good. But first things first, if you would like to enter for your chance to win a digital copy of this game, they're giving away a bunch of copies of this game. There's a link in the description. It's actually at racinggamecentral.com/yellowS2K. I think you have to be in the United States, but go down there, click that link, enter, and hopefully you guys can win. This is a great game to have in your library because of the ease of being able to pick up this game and have fun quickly. That's one of its biggest strengths. Not only that, but the big one in this game is all about the variety of terrain, environments, as well as vehicles. So hopefully I can share that with you here and show you exactly what you're going to get. In this game, you get to the main menu, and this Off-Road Masters is basically your career. So you come through here, and it's very much a stepping stone style of career with unlocks and honestly quite a bit of variety right off the bat, which is great, and I should be able to show you a little snippet of that variety. But as you can see, you click on one section here, and look at all the different tracks just available in this first thing. I mean, you have an actual Coliseum, you have more of a beachfront race, Alaska through the trees and water, as well as more of a rallycross circuit style track. So that's just in the first section. Now you do the same thing all the way through, and I'll show you guys my favorite little chunk of variety here in a second, which is in this section. Once again, a whole nother section. There's the championship at the end here. You can see Alaska on the left, Frozen Peak in the middle, a snow race, and then on the far right, a really fun rallycross track that is actually elimination. So I'll show you guys that here in a second. But one other thing, you can actually do these little special episodes where you come in and you do a 1v1, and it's a different setup. You know, it might be a trophy truck in the desert, or a trophy truck at a rallycross track, or a vintage rally car somewhere. So those are pretty fun, just to add a little bit of variety into the racing. So kind of those 1v1s. Now, if I hop into free race, this gives you a good idea of the amount of tracks, and it's really cool because they're all so different from each other. Alaska, that's one of the ones that you see a lot, which is a ton of fun. You come through here, look at the desert. It is deep, deep sand in the desert there. Just look at this. It just gets a little wild. The Frozen Peak we talked about earlier. Los Angeles Coliseum there. Florida Stadium. Some really, really cool stuff. Now you actually, I mean, look, this is more of an actual circuit, which is a really fun thing to do in a variety of different cars. And you can really mix and match and do whatever you want, which is really cool. But look at this. There's quite a bit here, and you have to unlock them as you go through the campaign. So quite a bit of variety as far as tracks go. And then once you get into vehicles, it is absolutely no different. So same thing here. Say we wanted to do Alaska. Click on the track. Now you can hop through the variety of cars here, and just take a look at this. Gotta start with a Porsche 911 RSR, one of the coolest cars ever. I'm a huge Porsche fan, so I have to start there. I won't be able to show you every single car, but I'll scan through here and show you some of the ones that I think are really special. The 95 Impreza, back to the Colin McRae days in the World Rally Championship, an iconic car. So many unique vehicles from big stuff. Look at this huge Land Cruiser, Beetle rallycross cars, a Raptor, a Lancia Stratos, which is one of the most legendary rally cars of all time. A couple different Ford Escorts from back in the day, a Ranger, I mean, you name it. Porsche Cayenne. There's just a crazy amount of variety. Another iconic rally car, Lancia Delta. The Integrale is an incredible rally car from the Group B rally days. And you get into the more modern rally cars. Look at this, a 2003 Impreza and STI, kind of from Petter Solberg and those guys. Just quite a bit of variety. Again, more Group B, amazing vehicles, all the way to things that you see from the Dakar. Again, just a ridiculous amount. I can't show you everything here. Here's another Integrale. Just insane. A Ford RS200, one of my favorite rally cars of all time. And also a car that has been made more popular recently from Ken Block. But again, just ridiculous. Fiesta ST, my brother actually has one out in my driveway right now. Just a ridiculous amount, and I really wanted to share that with you because it is so exciting to be able to get all of these different cars and then dive into a variety of different tracks, ending it with the Porsche Rally Pack, the Porsche 959, a legend, an absolute legend. So anyway, I had to show you that because the cars in this game are pretty sick. So anyway, let me hop in and show you guys a little bit more of what the physics are like. Quickly, on this main menu, you do have the obvious stuff, multiplayer, the time attack. One other thing is weekly challenges, and it's exactly what you would think it is. I mean, look, this is a Hummer, and you're going to be out in the desert, basically, and there's a time to beat, and it just changes every week, and it's a new fun challenge. So it's nice to have, again, variety, and that's what makes this game so good. So let's hop over to our off-road masters, and I'll try to show you guys a little bit of a clip of each of these awesome sections here. Alaska, Frozen Peak, and don't even know how you say that on the far right, but a really cool rallycross track. Now, we're going to be doing it in this Mini, which I know I just said there's a bunch of amazing cars. Maybe we'll switch it up and do the Volkswagen Beetle. I haven't driven this yet, but I know to a lot of people these cars might not be the best of the best out of that insane group, but it's all about preference. But I think this is more about showing you guys the terrain and just the ridiculous variety. We'll start off in Alaska here through the trees. It's really fast. You really have to carry your momentum and hit the lines correctly or you're going to hit a tree. And then we'll hop into the frozen snow map, and then we'll end it with an awesome arena cross. Not really arena cross. Got my eyes on Monster Energy Supercross, I guess, but rally cross. The rally cross track will be a really fun one. So quickly, if you want to hop into the game, you do have a lot of options, which is really nice. I think this is an arcadey title, but it gives you a lot of options to be able to add that little bit of, I guess, not sim, but it gets you in that direction. I have braking help off, auto brakes off, traction control off, stability help completely off, manual transmission, and I have the trajectory. This is like your lines. It shows you the best line through the track. I have that off, and damage I just have on cosmetic because it's a little bit frustrating when you have quite a bit of damage. But again, it is something that you can really tailor to your skill level or what you really want to dive into. Car settings, you can completely adjust these cars, which is really cool. I know it's an arcade title, but it has some of these fun things in it that you kind of get that little bit more of a simulation feel and a lot of adjustability here. So as you can see, just a lot of choices there to really get the car to feel exactly how you want it. So let's hop into Alaska here and show you guys a quick little bit. Probably won't be able to show you the whole race for the sake of time, but take a look at this track. It is so wild through the thick grass at the beginning here. I have the AI on hard difficulty. Very hard is the hardest, and it is a huge challenge. That's one of the biggest strengths of this game, honestly, is that the AI is properly difficult. I have it on hard, and you really do have to fight and be on point to win these races. So when you have it on very hard, man, is it a challenge. So that's pretty cool to be able to, once again, tailor it to what you want. Do you want a ridiculously hard experience, or do you want it to be a little bit easier? And you have so many options to be able to change that. Oh, we actually ran into the back of Thompson there. Now this track, you are able to make up a little bit more time than other tracks because it's so fast. You do make up a lot of time on the AI through these fast sections. Now keep in mind, I'm pretty comfortable with this game at this point, so and I know this track already, so I know exactly what I'm getting myself into. Oh, look at this jump over through the fence. We didn't hit the fence. We got lucky there, actually. So fast. Now, I know I'm blowing these guys away right now. I got kind of lucky, but I'll tell you, my first time around in this championship, I was struggling, and I really had to focus. So you can see, once again, this is a really fast track, but you do have these difficult corners. Like, look at this one here. It's really hard to tell how tight it's going to be, so you really got to throw it in. And that's one of the fun things about this game. It's that very rally style where you have to utilize your handbrake. And again, keep in mind, I'm shifting all through here, so I'm trying to keep it right in the meat of the power. See, these guys are fast. Catching up already. But you really have to be willing to throw it into a corner get the power down. That was a little ugly, but you'll be able to see a little bit more on like the rallycross track. You'll be able to see more of what it takes to really be pinpoint, be accurate, and have no problems. So we threw it away there at the end, but I want to show you the snow map because it is very much like this, but once again just so different that it puts you in a position where you have to drive completely different as well. So I don't know, it just ends up being really fun. Every time you play the game, you really get into something completely unique and something that really you have to adjust completely. May it be a totally different vehicle that handles completely different, or a track that's just totally wild, like this one. I mean, holy crap, we're driving on snow. It's pretty wild. One other thing to mention is, in this game, when I watched some videos of it before I picked the game up, I really thought it would look a little more slower paced than it is. Now, one thing, when you hop into this game and you're actually playing it, you'll realize that, man, the cars really feel like they have a lot of power. Every single one of them, to be honest with you. Even like the old classic cars, you really get a sense of power from them. And I think that really doesn't come across in video. You really have to play it yourself to be able to see what it's all about, because it just doesn't come across. It doesn't seem like they're really fast and just beefy, ridiculous cars. They almost look a little slower in playback, but when you're actually in the heat of things, it's like, wow, this thing's got power, and it feels that way, which is honestly, in a title like this where it's more of like a circuit arcadey thing, man, it's nice to feel like you just have tons of power. Now this Beetle's quite a bit different, even just within the same class, than the Mini that I drove, which we're actually rubbing into here. That's what I raced this on the first time. But the Beetle is quite a bit different. So let me try to finish up with a little bit of tidiness here. I'm a little bit all over the place, but this game, it really pays off. It's not just like throw it into the corner and pin it. Really, that's the slower way to get around. The faster way to get through most sections is to be tidy, and that'll really show off in the rallycross track, which we're going to be doing next. Running into the back of him, almost off track there. I'm trying to just keep it pretty clean, not lunging to the inside and nailing him or anything. I might be hitting him in the back, but no worries. Let's try to cut all the way around the outside. Took his line. Ooh, he got us back though. We drifted a little wide. This is a real tight corner. Try to keep it real tighty into the finish line, and looks like he got us. But again, you can really sit down, even though it's arcadey, you can sit down and focus. And if I really wanted to win that race, I could put my head down, focus in, hit my lines, focus on hitting the right gears through every corner, using that emergency brake or the hand brake when you get an opportunity to be able to get that car to slide a little bit more, and that'll really show. I think this rallycross track really does show what makes this game good. Alright, here we are at the rallycross. This is one of my favorite tracks in the game, no doubt. There's some really difficult corners, some tight stuff, some decreasing radius corners that do make it a definite challenge, but the flow is just so sick. If you can get a good line, it's such a good feel. You rallycross fans out there, there is not another game out there that you can pick up and have as quick of fun and as simple as fun with enjoying pure rallycross than this, and that's awesome. It's really nice to have something like this, and the tracks are sweet. Oh, we barely clipped those tires in the inside. But this is an elimination style race, so whoever's in last place when that timer runs out gets eliminated. So it's a really fun one. Again, just a little bit more variety. It's not just circuit race, this many laps. It's just quite a bit of change. Ooh, that's a tough corner to get right. Look at this one sliding all the way out. Drop it into second, get that power down, cross the finish line at the straightaway. Pretty fun section here. You got to keep it tidy. The car wants to slide. You got to get it in the right gear. You got to use that emergency brake to get that back end to slide out when you need it. But again, it really pays off to be tidy. Look at this here. Nice and clean on the inside. Not pushing too hard. It does take that extra little bit of skill. You can't just throw it into a corner and pin it and expect to do good in this game, which I really did think that's how it was going to be beforehand. So hopefully that lets you guys have a little bit of a better idea of what this is going to be like. Trying to battle with this top guy, it is not easy. A little bit cleaner through that section this time. This little last corner. What a fun one to try to get a move before the finish line. Oh, we slid out a little bit, but we were able to halfway save it there. But again, the things I want to harp on while you're watching a little bit of gameplay in this game is honestly the ease it is to pick up and have instant fun, and the amount of variety that you have in tracks. And then the third one, honestly, is the amount of variety as far as skill and what kind of experience you want to get out of this game. Now, I enjoy more sim games most often, especially with cars. But to be honest with you, it's really nice to be able to tailor this more to what I like this. And they're pretty difficult. I'm having a great battle, rallycross style, and it's something I didn't really expect. I mean, I'm shifting, I'm really doing a lot and trying to keep a clean line, and it really is satisfying that more serious car person in me. And again, another thing I just didn't really expect. It may look arcadey, and it is arcadey, but that's almost its biggest strength. Let's see if we can get to the inside of him. A little rough on the outside, but this is rallycross. Oh, rubbing. We might be able to win this one, but I just want you guys to realize what you're going into, and that's why this review at first I wasn't that excited to make. I'll be dead honest with you guys. But then the more I played it, I was like, oh man, I need to make a review so people really understand what this game's about, because I think it's going to be a game that a lot of people are going to miss out on because they think it's just full-blown arcadey and nothing special, and you'd be completely wrong. So anyway, guys, hopefully that gives you a great idea what this game's like. I hope it is a game you pick up. In my opinion, it's a title very worthy of picking up, a great one to have in your library to come back to and just play and have quick fun in just a ridiculous amount of variety. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. I enjoyed making it, and yeah, guys, thank you very much, and until next time, I will talk to you later. Peace out.